The Fiji Sevens team is excited to be in Wellington, especially coach Ben Ryan, who won in New Zealand same time last year with England. Ryan tweeted videos of his squad working out. The Englishman believes the Westpac Trust Stadium pitch favours our side, as it is the fastest pitch in the IRB World Series. Fiji meets New Zealand first in their opening pool match next week Friday, before taking on France and then Spain.
The pitch was terrible in Vegas, too narrow, kept slipping over, and occasionally you have tournaments like that, particularly for a team that's got so many least tournament caps compared with some of our big opponents. They're gonna have some situations where they don't necessarily always make the best decisions under pressure.
And Canada Sevens head coach Geraint John has been boosted ahead of the 5th round of the HSBC Sevens World Series in New Zealand. Having reached their first Cup semi-final in 14 years and finishing a best ever 3rd place by beating Samoa, John welcomes back Nathan Hirayama, Sean Duke, Lucas Hammond and Kieran Hearn for the event in Wellington. And the leading try scorer from the USA Sevens, Seabelo Senatla, has been ruled out of the New Zealand Sevens with injury. The injured South Africa Sevens duo of Seabelo Senatla and Roscoe Speckman have returned to South Africa and will be replaced by Jamba Ulengo and Quagga Smith for the New Zealand Sevens, the 5th round of the HSBC Sevens World Series. The Blitzboks sit on top of the current series standings following their 14-7 victory over New Zealand at the USA Sevens in Las Vegas, but will be without the two wings in Wellington. And the re-established Athletics Fiji executives today unveiled their new vice president. Very familiar to the sport, 36-year-old Joseph Roden Jr. has set his sights on a revamped local competitions, just as it happens during his champion days as a decathlete.
A familiar face giving back to the sport, but no longer as an athlete.
Our roles as executives, supported by the members who are made up of the clubs, life members and those long-time athletes in Fiji. Our role over here basically really is to form a structure, ensure that we have a vision, a way forward.
Joseph Roden Jr. stepping in as the new vice president, the timing from the former field champion impeccable.
We're looking at establishing the foundation, making sure that our competitions and everything's in order, so that come 2 years' time we'll be able to be competitive.
Roden Jr. joins the reinstated executives a little less than 2 years to the 2015 Pacific Games in Port Moresby.
Is to start reviving the domestic competitions, because track and field is made up of the weekly competition. If you don't have the weekly competition, you won't tune out the top performing athletes.
Reviving and decentralizing of the games is top of the agenda for Roden, who wants to put the fire back into local competition.
We used to have the 400-meter Tanwa challenge. We used to have the 100-meter Tanwa challenge on a weekly basis. The long jumps, the throws, the trophies, that everybody should come and compete to try and put their name on the shield of the trophy.
So expect competitions to move around the country, just as Roden Jr. did back in Fiji's flying days.
We used to take those competitions around the nation. Suva, Serua, Singatoka, Ba. That's where you got the likes of Chonin Delay coming to the forefront. Anere running here.
Roden Jr.'s confirmation as an executive cements his family's continued service in the sport. William Tembuya, Fiji One News.
And Australia added the 2020 series to their victories in the Ashes and one-day internationals, as an 8-wicket win over England gave them a 2-0 lead. England lost 4 wickets in as many overs early in their innings in Melbourne, and only Jos Buttler, 22, passed 20 in their mediocre 130 for 9. Cameron White struck 57 and George Bailey 60 off 28 balls with 3 sixes, as Australia won with 31 balls left. It was in their 11th win out of 12 in all formats against England on the tour. Fiji Chess Federation has 2 unusual high-profile visitors in the country. Here for the first time on a promotional visit is FIDE CEO Jeffrey Borg, who hails from Malta, and Filipino Castor Abundo, who is the Asia Chess Deputy President.
We were doing a tour of the Pacific, so clearly, of course, Fiji is an important stop. And we took the benefit, of course, of coming here for a quick flying visit to establish a strategic plan together with the Federation.
I was sent to a tour of Asia by our President Sheikh Sultan. There are 48 member countries in the Asian Chess Federation, and Oceania and Fiji are among the fastest growing.
Showers and thunderstorms affected Eastern Division in the afternoon. However, fine weather prevailed over the rest of Fiji. An active trough of low pressure lies over Solomons and extends over Wallis and Futuna and the northern parts of Tonga. Recapping the news headlines, PM tours flood-affected areas in the west, pioneering five-star resort on the coast changes hands, and a national carrier garners support from international finances. Finally, a quick reminder, you can now also get news headlines directly to your mobile phones. To subscribe, just text SUB FTV News to 777 and you can get your news and sports headlines via SMS. Our free subscription ends today. From tomorrow, charges will apply. You can also view our terms and conditions on our website. And that's Fiji One News. Have a great weekend. Good evening.